Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Samyukta Mataji. Thank you, Vanilla Mataji, for joining. Okay, 8 minutes తర్వాత continue చేద్దాం Mataji. I have just sent message to devotees. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay,
yeah, we'll start in another 8 minutes. And I'm doing one round.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Hare Ram Sankirtan ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Samyukta Mataji, Radhika Mataji, Vanil Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining today. This evening. You are able to hear me, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much for waiting. Appreciated your time. So let us begin with Mangalacharana prayers, okay? We are starting new book from today, Krishna Consciousness, the topmost yoga system. Krishna Consciousness, the topmost yoga system. That means Bhakti Yoga. Prabhupada, how he is writing, concluding, Bhakti Yoga is the topmost yoga system. So that's where he is going to give the knowledge from various yoga systems and why Bhakti Yoga is the topmost system. So let us read today, from today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravane Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vranda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Mukhaṁ karoti vācālam pangum langāyate girim kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavastam gatopi va yasmaret pundarikaksham sabhyad bhyantaram suchihi. Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. Yeah, sure, Mataji, Radhika Mataji. Yeah. Yeah, whenever you are ready to read, you can raise your hand. Okay? Then I will ask you to read. Yes. Yeah. So we are reading from Krishna Consciousness, the topmost yoga system. So now this book, let me open. Let me share this screen. Yeah. You are able to see, right, Mataji? Venera Mataji, Samyukta Mataji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Smriti. Matta Smritir Jnanam Apohanam. Smriti Haribol. Remembrance. Krishna has given remembrance. Your name also always remembers. Huh?
She's
So nice.
waiting to read Prabhuji.
Yeah. Very good, huh? Then
Krishna, Krishna
Ah.
consciousness. The topmost yoga system. His divine grace, AC,
Try. No need to take help from mom. Try.
Bhakti, Bhakdanta,
Vedanta.
Vedanta, Swami, Prabhupada.
Very well. Mataji, how old is she, Mataji?
6 Prabhuji.
6 years, huh?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Great, Mataji. I really appreciate, you are giving Krishna consciousness at the early age. Prahlad Maharaj also, this Krishna conscious knowledge can be given to a person from the age of.
Prabhuji, I read also Prahlada Maharaj book.
Very good. Very good. I really appreciate, and I give.
Thank
I
you.
pray for Krishna for your nice, Krishna consciousness upbringing. Krishna is with you, so nice. You can read then. You can read these contents today.
Yoga and the master of yoga. The goal of yoga, a real life. The Hare Krishna mantra, how
Right. How?
Bhakti yoga works.
Bhakti.
Bhakti yoga works. Sources of absolute.
Absolute.
No
Knowledge.
glossary index the another.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Super. You want to read? Yes. Since you are starting, try to read with the help of mom. Okay. You can take help now. No problem.
Yoga and the master of yoga.
Very well.
Yoga
Cool.
is the connecting link between the soul and the
Super.
or soul are the supreme and the minute living creatures. Lord Sri Krishna is that supreme, the personality of Godhead, being therefore the ultimate object of yoga. Krishna's name is
Yogeshwara.
Yogeshwara, the master of yoga.
Very good. Very nice. Conclude. You can read some more time.
All the at the
conclusion
of the Bhagavad Gita, it is said where there is Krishna and where there is Arjun, the greatest of both men, there
undoubtedly
is victory.
Very good. Let her read one more. You can read. You can read this one.
Bhagavad Gita is a natural narrative spoken by Sanjaya the
Secretary
of Maharaja
Dhritarashtra.
Dhritarashtra. This is just like airways from the radio. The play is going on in the
Auditorium.
auditorium, but material
You
You
can.
you can hear from your room. So just as we know, have such a
Mechanical
mechanical
arrangement.
arrangement at the time there were also
Certain
certain
arrangements.
Hmm.
Although there was no
Machine.
machine anyway, the secretary of
Dhritarashtra
could see what was going on in the battlefield, and he was in the
palace.
telling this to Maharaj
Dhritarashtra.
who was blind. No, the
Conclusion.
made by
Sanjaya.
was the Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead.
Say one more time, Smriti, one more time say this. Krishna, say one more time.
Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead.
One more time. 3 times చేయాలి ఇంకా 2 times చేయి.
Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead.
One more time.
Hari, one more time.
Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead.
Hari bol. Thank you so much, Smriti. Hari bol. Hari bol. Okay. I love you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Very nice. You can continue, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. When the yoga performance is described, it is said that Krishna's name is Yogeshwara. No one can be a better yogi than the master of yoga, and Krishna is the master. There are many different types of yoga. Yoga means the system, and yogin means the person who practices that system. The object of yoga, the ultimate goal, is to understand Krishna. Therefore, Krishna consciousness means to practice the topmost type of yoga. The topmost yoga system was described by Krishna in the Gita to his most intimate friend Arjuna. In the beginning, the Lord said that this system can be practiced only by a person who has developed attachment for it. This Krishna conscious yoga system cannot be practiced by an ordinary man who has no attachment for Krishna, for it is a different system and the topmost bhakti yoga. There are 5 types of direct attachment, and there are 7 types of indirect attachment. Indirect attachment is not bhakti. Direct attachment is called bhakti. If you are attached to Krishna by the direct method, it is called devotional service. And if you are attached to Krishna by an indirect method, it is not devotional service, but that is also attachment. King Kamsa, for example, was the maternal uncle of Krishna, and there was a warning that Kamsa would be killed by one of his sister's sons. So he became very anxious about the sons of his sister, and he decided to kill his sister. Devaki, Krishna's mother, was saved by her husband Vasudeva, who made a compromise and proposed to his brother-in-law as follows: "You are afraid of the son of your sister, so your sister herself is not going to kill you." He requested, "Don't kill your sister, save her, and I promise that all the sons born of her will be brought to you, and if you like, you can kill them." Vasudeva did this in order that his poor wife might be saved. And Vasudeva thought, when Devaki's son is born, Kamsa may have a change of heart. But Kamsa was such a great demon that he killed all the sons of Devaki. It was told that the 8th son of the sister would kill him. So when Krishna was in the womb of his mother, Kamsa was always thinking of Krishna. You may say that he was not Krishna conscious, but actually he was, not directly, not for love's sake, but as an enemy. He was Krishna conscious as an enemy. So that is not devotional service. One in devotional service is Krishna conscious as Krishna's friend, Krishna's servant, his parent, or his lover. You may want Krishna as your lover, as your son. You may want Krishna as your friend. You may want Krishna as your master. You may want Krishna as the supreme sublime. These 5 different kinds of relationship with Krishna are called devotion or bhakti. They entail no material profit.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
So 2 points, direct worship and indirect worship. Direct service or indirect service. Direct method, indirect. So these things. Direct method is direct. What is a direct method? Bhakti yoga. Performing devotional service is a direct method. And indirect method is non-favorable way. 2 things again. Favorable way is the bhakti yoga. Non-favorable way means thinking Krishna, Kamsa example Prabhupada has taken. Inimical way. As soon as he heard that, his sister's 8th child is gonna cause of your death. So he was thinking, who is that? He so much, that's where Kamsa sent so many demons to Vrindavan to kill Krishna. Non-favorable way. So favorable way we can have multiple times we have discussed, and Prabhupada also pointing out here. One in devotional services, Krishna consciousness as a friend, as a servant, as a parent, as his lover. Right? 4 and Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So that's a direct relationship we can establish with Krishna and perform devotional service. Actually, this chapter starts with yoga. What is the meaning of yoga? Yoga means link between the soul and the super soul. Yoga means to connect. Yoga, to connect. That's meaning is connect. Connect from what? From soul to super soul. Or the supreme. Right? So I are and minute living creatures. Lord Sri Krishna is the supreme, the personality of God, being therefore the ultimate object of yoga. Krishna's name is Yogeshwara, the master of yoga. There is one word in Bhagavad Gita also. Yoga, one sloka. Yatra Yogeshwara, no? That one, I forgot actually. 1878. I think.
Last shloka, Prabhuji.
Last sloka 878, right? Veda base.
Yatra
Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Pradhanataraha Tatra Sri Vijaya Bhuti Dhruva Nitirmatirma.
Yeah. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Sri Vijaya Bhutir Dhruva Nitirmatirmama. Prabhupada finding, right? This one. The same verse. So when we connect with Krishna, there is no question of unsuccessful. Everything is success when we connect with Krishna. Right? Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, again, Yogeshwara is a master of yoga. Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara. Wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, and wherever there is Krishna, the mystic of all mystics, or master of yoga, what happens? Certainly there is a opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That's where success is guaranteed. Success is there always. That's it. When we perform bhakti, there is no loss and diminution, and it is going to be saved from the greatest danger. Neha Vikravanashosti Pratyamana Vidyate Swarpam Apyasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahadobhayad. That's where. So there are many different types of yoga. Yoga means the system, and yogin means the person practices that system. So bhakti yogis, we are all practicing bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga. So bhakti yogis, male, bhakti yogini, female. So yeah, we are in the process, at least. We have to learn and teach others. After we learn, apply in our lives and teach to others. Bhakti is a activity to the supreme, not just like only devotion. Devotion with service. That's where it's called devotional service. Right? So let us continue. Vendala Mata, please read the concept of.
The concept of accepting God as a son is superior to the concept of accepting God as a father. There is a distinction. The relationship between father and son is that the son wants to take something from the father. The father's relationship with the son is that the father always wants to give something to the son. Therefore, the relationship with God or Krishna as son is better than the relationship with Krishna by one who thinks, if I accept God as my father, then my business will be to ask for my necessities from my father. But if I become the father of Krishna, then from the beginning of his childhood, my business will be to serve him. The father is the parent of the child from the very beginning of his birth. Therefore, the concept of this relationship of Vasudeva and Devaki is sublime. Hare Krishna.
Continue, Mother. Yes, you can continue.
Okay. Krishna's foster mother Yashoda is thinking, if I do not feed Krishna continuously, he will die. If she forgets that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and he is sustaining the three worlds, she forgets that only one Lord is supplying the necessities of all the living entities. The same Supreme Personality of Godhead has become the son of Yashoda, and she is thinking, if I do not feed him nicely, he will die. This is love. She has forgotten that it is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who has appeared before her as a little child. This relationship of attachment is very sublime. It requires time to understand, but there is a portion where instead of asking, "Oh God, please give us our daily bread," you can instead think that God will die if you don't supply bread to him. This is the ecstasy of extreme love. There is such a relationship between Krishna and his devotee Radharani, the greatest devotee, the greatest lover of Krishna. Mother Yashoda is his lover as a parent. Sudama is his lover as a friend. Arjuna is also a friend, and there are millions and billions of different kinds of direct devotees of Krishna. So the yoga systems as described here lead to Bhakti Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga can be practiced by persons who have developed attachments to Krishna. Others cannot practice it. And if anyone is able to develop that attachment, the relationship will be that he will understand God, Krishna perfectly. However, we may try to understand God by our different theories or speculations. It is still a difficult job. We may say that we have understood God, but it is not possible to understand him as he is because we have limited senses and he is unlimited. It is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam that our senses are imperfect, all of them. We cannot understand even the material world perfectly. You have seen many planets and stars in the sky at night, but you do not know what they are. You do not even know what the moon planet is, though men have been trying for so many years to go there in Sputniks. Even this planet Earth, we do not know what varieties there are even on this planet. If you go to the sea, to the sky, your perception is limited. Our knowledge is therefore always imperfect. On that we must agree. If we foolishly think that we have acquired all forms of knowledge and we have advanced in science, then this is another foolishness. It is not possible. And when it is...
Continue this one. And
when it is not possible to understand even the material things which we daily see with our eyes, what can we say of the spiritual world and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead? The supreme spiritual form it is not possible to understand him via limited senses. Then why are we bothering so much for Krishna consciousness if it is not possible? If these imperfect senses cannot realize Krishna as he is, the answer is that if you become submissive, if you develop the spiritual attitude of following Krishna, and you are as a servant or friend or a parent or as a lover, if you begin
maybe internet issue. If you begin to give service to the Supreme Lord, then you can begin to know him. Thank you very much, Mataji. Very straightforward. So we have to understand from these paragraphs. So are you able to hear me, na? Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay. Mataji maybe her internet issue. Anyway, So in these paragraphs, what we have to understand, we know, right? There are 4 defects of human being. What are the 4 defects? We have imperfect senses. Okay, with that imperfect senses, whatever we acquire, the knowledge is imperfect, no perfection. With it, we have imperfect senses. Then we have cheating propensity. That is there as a naturally every human being. Imperfect sense, cheating propensity, being illusion, Brahma, being illusion. Then one more thing, commit mistakes. So with the imperfect senses, our knowledge is imperfect. We commit mistakes, we have a cheating propensity, and we become illusioned. With that, whatever comes from human beings especially, even though we have different subjects, it's not perfect actually. Those knowledge cannot help us ultimate life. Now the spirituality, so that is for up to the material plane, up to the material platform, up to the material jobs, those various kinds of knowledge, different occupations that may help that material knowledge, but that cannot help the soul related concept directly from Krishna, and we have to learn from Krishna and his authorities. 4 disciplic successions there, and properly situated and learn it. So that's the thing. So these teachings cannot teach in the schools and colleges and universities. Actually, this is the only subject matter one has to learn, apart from material subjects. But many universities, colleges, schools, they may give some moral stories, they may give little here and there Bhagavad Gita verses, but ultimate knowledge from the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and that's not giving in these institutions. So that's the thing. We have imperfect senses. With that, we commit mistakes. With that, we being illusion, and we have that propensity of cheating. That where the knowledge come from human beings imperfect. That's where we have to surrender to surrender to Krishna. That's it. This knowledge is perfect. This Bhagavad Gita knowledge is eternally existing since time immemorial. There is no when this knowledge is, when Krishna is there, this also there, knowledge also there. Tene Brahma Hrudaya Adi Kavaye. Who has given this knowledge? First to Brahma. You can create now. First you tapa. Krishna says in his heart, after he born from lotus flower, from the abdominal part of navel part of the Krishna, what is that? Mahavishnu. So he was completely in darkness. I don't know what to do. So he heard the voice like tapa, 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 tapa. Then he performed austerity. Through that, Krishna revealed him and give the intelligence to create the material creation. That's to Brahma. So originally, who is this knowledge? Originally come from Krishna only. Vedaisya sarvair ahameva vedya vedanta krit veda videvachaha. That's the thing. So let us continue. Yeah. Pallavi Mata, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, please read.
Yeah. You can't understand Krishna. Prabhuji?
Yeah. No, here. No. Your service begins with the tongue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bear with me. I think my net is a little low today. Slow.
Yes. Okay.
Your service begins with the tongue. How? By the tongue, one can chant Hare Krishna, and by the tongue, you can taste Krishna Prasadam, spiritual food. So the beginning of process is very nice. You can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And whenever prasadam is offered to you by Krishna, by his kindness, you can accept it. The result will be that if you become submissive and if you begin this service, chanting and eating prasadam, Krishna will reveal himself before you. You can't understand Krishna by speculation. That is not possible because your senses are imperfect. But if you begin this process of service, then it will be possible. One day Krishna will reveal himself to you. I am like this, just as Krishna is revealing to Arjuna. Arjuna is a devotee and he is submissive and he is in contact with Krishna as a friend. Therefore, Krishna is revealing to him. The Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjuna, not to any
Vedantist philosophy.
Vedantist philosophical speculator. In the beginning of the 4th chapter, you will note that Krishna says, I am speaking to you. That ancient system of yoga, it is stated unto you, Arjuna was a Kshatriya, a fighter. He was a householder, not even a sannyasi, not a renouncer. But these are not qualifications to understand Krishna. Suppose I say I have become a sannyasi.
Sannyasi mendicant.
Mendicant. The font is very small, Prabhuji. Clear ga
Yes.
ledu.
Yeah.
Mendicant. Oh, okay. Mendicant. This is not. Ante nenu mobile lo chadutunnanu, so pardon me. Suppose I say I have become a sannyasi mendicant. This is not a qualification that I can now understand Krishna. Then what is the qualification? This one who has developed the service spirit with love and devotion can understand me. No other, not the big scholars and mental speculators, but a child can understand Krishna if he has full faith in him. So faith and devotion qualify one. Simply by such faith and service, you will understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just as we are preaching Krishna consciousness, we are not wasting your time or our time because we are in full faith. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Theoretically or practically, you should accept Krishna as a Supreme Person. Theoretically, there is the revealed scripture. You will understand from the Vedic literature, from the great devotees in the past and in the present. For the present, there is Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is a great authority. None is greater. He was made after Krishna. And then after him, his 6 disciples, the Goswamis, have left us an immensely valuable literature, especially Jiva Goswami. They have written volumes on Krishna. So under disciple succession, we have come to this point. And if you like past history, then go back a long, long time. Vyasadeva. He is known to have written the Srimad Bhagavatam and other literature on Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing but a description of Krishna. Vyasa is also the writer of the Bhagavad Gita. The Gita was spoken by Krishna, noted by Vyasa, who put this Gita into the Mahabharata. Chadamantara Prabhuji,
Chadavan, 2 paragraphs.
Yeah, so Vyasadeva accepts Krishna as the Supreme Person. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, he has given the description of the different incarnations. There are 25 of them. And in the conclusion, he says that the descriptions that are given of different incarnations are all parts of the representations of God. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Is not part, but 100% God. So there is the evidence of authority. And practically, if we believe the Shastras, the scriptures, then we can see who can be more powerful than Krishna, who can be more beautiful than Krishna, who can be more famous than Krishna. Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago, but his knowledge, which he gave in the form of the Srimad Bhagavatam, is still
Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Srimad Bhagavad Gita is still worshipped. It is worshipped not only by the Hindus or the Indians, but is spread all over the world. In your country, there are at least 50 different editions of Bhagavad Gita written by different men. Similarly, in England, in Germany, in France, and in all other countries, you will find hundreds of editions of the Gita. So who can be more famous? There are many other evidences. If you believe in Shastra, Krishna married 16,108 wives, and he provided each one of them with a big palace, and each one of them had 10 children. And from the 10 children, there were many other children born. So we have the evidence of revealed scriptures, and in the Brahma Samhita also, Krishna is accepted as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a very old book, supposed to have been written by Brahma, the first living being in the universe. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. That's so nicely explained, Srila Prabhupada, Krishna's position. Krishna is the Supreme Person. Yeah. He has different incarnations. That he has given the description of the different incarnations. There are 25 of them. And in the conclusion, he says that all the descriptions that are given of different incarnations are all parts of the representation of God. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are different incarnations. Actually, there are 6 kinds of avatars. Incarnations mean avatars. Okay. 6 kinds of incarnations avatara. So Leela Avatara, Guna Avatara, Shaktya Vesha Avatara, Yuga Avatara, Manvanta Avatara, Shaktya Vesha Avatara. Total 6 we have. So it's a very elaborated discussion. When we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we get to know. So Prabhupada explaining here is expansions only. So, but ultimately, who is the supreme person? Krishna is the supreme person, and Krishna is the cause of all causes. In his incarnations, through different incarnations and different material creations, he is the cause of all causes, and he is the supreme cause for all this. So, Prabhupada writes here, 6 Goswamis or the disciples of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they left valuable literature on Krishna and Radharani, highest revelations on the Bhakti Yoga, topmost realizations, Radha Krishna, and this one, and we are going to celebrate Gaura Purnima on next Monday, coming Monday. So Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from Krishna and Radha. I mean, in the form of devotee, in the mood of a devotee. In the mood of Srimati Radharani, Krishna himself appeared. So he is instructed, one of the instruction received from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the 6 Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Gopalagutta Goswami, Jiva Goswami, all the 6 Goswamis, they received instructions to write volumes of books on the pastimes of Radha and Krishna and Vrindavan and Madhurya Leela, very deep relations. So they have written volumes on Krishna. So under disciplic succession, we have come to this point. We have to read this in a proper disciplic succession. So all the 6 Goswamis themselves in the proper disciplic succession, Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Vaishnava Sampradaya. So when we read these kinds of books in the parampara, the knowledge is perfect. The revelations are perfect. Their realizations, we can, with their realizations, by going through, our bhakti is going to be enhanced. So nicely you can be able to execute. Krishna, he has shown the supreme person. Krishna married 16,108 wives, and each wife having a big palace, and each one of them 10 children. Who can do this? Only supreme person can he be able to do. Only he can do. And all these 16,108 palaces with each wife, with each children, every time when Narada looked at, in the one pastime is there. When Narada come and see, I mean, in every palace he is doing some different activities. Somewhere in preaching, somewhere in teaching, somewhere milking the cows, somewhere taking care of wife. Different, not a single activity is the same. Unique. All on 16,100 wives, all the places with wives, different activities he is doing. Who can do that? Only Supreme Personality of Godhead can do this. And here, let us continue with Brahma Samhita verses, how he's explaining. So, I think Radhika Mata is in hearing mode. Then Sapna Mata and Sapan Prabhu is there. Sapna Mata, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. Please read from this paragraph.
In the Brahma Samhita, it is said, Ishvara Parama Krishna. Ishvara means God. There are many gods. It is said that there are so many demigods and there is the supreme God. So Brahma Samhita says, Ishvara Parama Krishna, he is the God of gods. Ishvara Parama Krishna, and then Satchitananda Vigraha, and his body is eternal and full of bliss and knowledge. And next, Anadhi, he has no beginning, but he is the beginning of everyone. Anadir Adir Govinda. Go means senses, go means senses, go means cow, and go means land. So he is the proprietor of all land. He is the proprietor of all cows, and he is the creator of all senses. We are after sense pleasure, but our perfection of sense pleasure can be achieved only when we reciprocate our pleasure with Krishna. Therefore, his name is Govinda, the supreme original original personality of Godhead. The same personality of Godhead personally spoke about himself to Arjuna in the Gita. How can you say that somebody by his thinking, by speculation, can say something about God that is more important than what is being said by Krishna himself? It is not possible. No one can speak better than Krishna about God because God himself is speaking. If you speak about yourself personally, you can say more than you. So if you have faith, if you believe theoretically or practically in Krishna, Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, then by the speeches that are delivered by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, you can understand God. There is no difficulty. And if you believe Krishna, then the result will be that you can understand God, how he is working, how his energies are acting, how he is manifesting. And is this material world? What is the spiritual world? What are the living creatures? What is their relationship? So many things are to be found in God's literature. The whole Vedic literature deals with three things. The first is our relationship with God. Then, next, after you understand your relationship with God, you can act in that way. Just as a man or a woman may not be related, but as soon as the relationship is established, that one is husband and another is wife, and the other is wife, then the dealings begin. Once they understand their relationship with God, people generally believe that God is the father and the son's business is to ask father for whatever he needs. But this is really a lesser relationship. If you understand God perfectly, then there are intimate relationship also. Your intimate relationship will be revealed when you are perfectly liberated. Each and every living creature has a particular relationship with God, but we have for now forgotten. When the relationship is revealed in the process of devotional activities or Krishna consciousness, you will know that is the perfection of your life. Krishna consciousness is a great science. It is not a sentimental speculation regarding love. It is based on the scientific propositions described in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Vedas, and in the Brahma Samhita. And it is accepted by authorities like Lord Chaitanya, Ramanujacharya, Madhavacharya, Narada, Asita, Vyasa, and there are so many authorities. Krishna consciousness is not an ordinary love making or money making business. It is really, it is reality. And if you stick to it seriously, your life will be perfect. Hare
Srila
Krishna.
Prabhupada ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. Wonderfully explained, right? So we have to act in Krishna consciousness. We have to develop love for Krishna. How can we do that? First thing, so there are the concepts, three things in the Vedic literature. Okay, so maybe you heard previously also these three things, three concepts to understand a subject matter. Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana Jnana. This is the teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is revealed to all of us. Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Right? The whole Vedic literature deals with three things. What is that? The first is your relationship with God. Sambandha. What is my relationship with this material world? What is my relationship with Supreme Lord? You know, these are the things. And then next, after you understand your relationship with God, that means what is our relationship? We have answers also. What is the relationship? Jivera Swarupa Krishnera Nityadas. We are all eternal servants of Krishna, Krishna Das, Krishnera Nityadas. Right? We got the point. Okay, we are always eternal servants to Krishna. Then next what? Next, after you understand your relationship with God, you can act in that way. That is means Abhideya. You have to perform activities in that way. That means as a service, what kind of services you have to do. It's Abhideya Jnana. Sambandha Jnana, Abhideya Jnana. Right? Just as a man or a woman may not be related, but as soon as the relationship is established, we have relationship. We have acting, what is it, activities. We got the relationship, right? No, take an example of, mother and son, or mother and daughter. There is a relationship. What is the relationship? Oh, she is my daughter. He is my son. Mother feels, right? Krishna also feels that they're all living in these sons and daughters of Krishna. Mamayvamsho Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We are all part and parcel of Supreme Lord. So we have a relationship with Krishna, just like in a material world. We see mother and child's relationship. That is relationship. And act in that way. We have to do render services, right? Son, daughters, mother, exchanging, right? Activities. Mother is always lovingly giving food, shelter, everything. It's completely taking care of his kids. Krishna also like us, like take care of everything, for all of our food, shelter, our air, breathing. Everything actually is Krishna. So we have to act in that way. And the next concept is, once we establish these two concepts, Sambandha Jnana, Abhidheya Jnana, and then Prayojana Jnana. What is that Prayojana? So once they understand their relationship with God, people generally believe that God is Father, the Son's business is, again, that third one. Prayojana means we can establish particular relations. 5 relations we have, right? Primary relationships, rasas. That way we can establish our service through in that mode. Parental mode, lover mode, or friendly mode, or servitorship. That's where, Prayojana Jnana, that will, it's complete knowledge. That's where Prabhupada writes, 3 things. Sambandha, Abhidheya, and Prayojana, actually, that words. And everybody accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God. Right? Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Narada, Asita, Vyasa, all the system of disciplic succession understood and performed, and all of their energies to Krishna. All of their energies to Krishna. Because Om Namo Bhagavate, fill in the blanks. Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudeva.
Vasudevaya. So he is the son of Vasudeva. That's why it's called Vasudevaya. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavad Gita himself is established his position. Matta parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya mayi sarvamidam protam sutre mananaiva. Many verses actually. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Bhoktaram yajnatapasam tar sarvaloka maheshwaram. That is also there. So he is establishing his position. That's it. He is a supreme. We just have to believe in the scriptures under the proper guru's training. So this is the first chapter done. What is the first chapter title? Krishna. What is the first chapter title? Yoga and the master of the yoga. Yogeshwara. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. Yatra Partha Dhanadhara Tatra Sri Vijaya Bhutir Matir Mama. He is going to bestow the opulence when we understand Krishna is the Yogeshwara, master of yoga. He is the topmost. He is the beyond all this karma, jnana, dhyana. He is situated in the bhakti yoga. I mean, devotees perform. There are 3 B's. Many times he says. Can anybody say what are the 3 B's? 3 B's.
Bhakti, Bhagwan.
Bhakta. Bhakta. Devotee, Supreme Lord, and then in between devotional service, process of bhakti. So that's the thing. So he is a master of yoga. Yoga and the master of the yoga. We completed that particular first chapter. Let us continue. We have another 20 minutes. Let us see. Okay. Sapan Prabhu, please read. Prabhuji, you are on mute, I think.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. The goal of yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Sanskrit word mam is frequently used. This word means unto me. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, says, unto me, Krishna. We cannot interpret this in a different way. When I say, bring me a glass of water, it means that I am the person in the want of the glass of water. If you supply to me and not to others, then it is right. When Krishna says unto me, that means Krishna. But philosophers are still interpreting, they say, unto something else. Even grammatically, this is wrong. One who has developed attachment to Krishna is Krishna conscious. They say if you have an attachment for your lover, you always think of her. That is lover consciousness. It is natural. It is stated that a woman who has another lover besides her husband shows herself very attentive to her household duties, but is always thinking, when shall my lover and I meet in the night? This is an example. It is possible, in spite of our false engagement, if we love somebody, to think of him always. If materially it is possible, why not spiritually? That is the whole teaching of Bhagavad Gita. In the Gita, Krishna says unto Arjuna, as a fighter, you have to fight. You cannot step away from the fighting. It is your duty. Nowadays, I have practical experience that the draft board of your country is calling for boys to join the army. They are not willing. They are not willing because they are not trained as Kshatriyas, warriors. They are trained as Shudras, laborers. Therefore, the caste system is very scientific. A section
Yes,
A section of people should be trained as Brahmanas, men of knowledge. Those who are intelligent enough in the society should be picked and trained in higher philosophical science. And those who are less intelligent than Brahmanas should be given military training. We require everything in society, not only military men. How can everyone be a military man? Because they are sending Shudras, ordinary workers to Vietnam. These are unnecessarily being killed. Any country which is proud of scientific advancement and yet does not know how to organize its society is a fool society. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that there are 4 divisions of society: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. That is natural. Some are inclined towards spiritual advancement, and these are Brahmanas. Now we are training boys who are spiritually inclined, and they are unnecessarily being forced into military service. The foolish have no knowledge that some boy is being trained up in higher science. Why should he be destroyed when he is being perfect? The intellectual persons, those boys who have Brahminical qualifications, are being restrained in brahmacharya student life. They do not take to meat eating. They don't take part in intoxication. They don't take part in gambling. They don't take part in illicit sex. They are being trained as complete Brahmanas, the highest intellectuals, the most purified persons in society. If there is one Brahmana in a whole family, then the whole family, the whole society becomes sanctified. But today, they have no knowledge of how to train a Brahmana or how to train a Kshatriya. In other fields of action, in the work of Shudras and Vaishyas, there is nice training. If anyone wants to be a businessman, there are colleges or technological schools. That's very nice. But why should everyone be dragged into technology? Just as in your body, for proper maintenance, we require the head, the arms, the belly, and the legs. All these parts of the body are required. You cannot say we do not require the head. That is nonsense. We require everything. Suppose there is a body without head, it is a dead body. If the body is now intact, but there is no head, it is called dead body. The head is considered to be the intellectual part of the body. Similarly, if there is no Brahmana in the society, it is a dead body. If there is no spiritual man in the society, it is a dead society. Therefore, Krishna says, I have created 4 divisions of society according to quality and work. If someone is working as a brahmachari Brahmana and has acquired the quality of understanding Krishna, the Supreme Lord, then why should he be called for army action? The arm of the body is called the Kshatriya. Of course, that is required to protect the country, to protect the society. A military arrangement should be there. No one will disapprove, but not the Brahmanas. It is putting a race horse before the work cart. The race horse is required for different purpose. The other beasts of burden, asses, mules, and oxen, are required for pulling carts. I say this frankly. Everyone may read it that any society where there are no spiritual persons or Krishna consciousness is a rascal society because it has no head. Where there is a headless man, there is a dead body. And if there is no brain, there is no head. If the brain is not working properly, then he is a madman. If he has no head at all, then he's a dead man. Do you think that in a dead society or a mad society, there can be any peace? No. If the society is full of madmen, then where is the question of peace? Therefore, Krishna consciousness is the most important study in the present day society. The men who are leading the society, the president and the secretary of defense, should have the intelligence to understand the science of the soul. Hare Krishna.
So nicely written. When there is a headless man, there is the dead body. And if there is no brain, there is no head. If the brain is not working properly, then he's a madman. If he has no head at all, then he's a dead man. Right. So that's the thing. So this Chatur Varnam Maya system, Krishna has created these varnas and ashramas according to there four social orders, four spiritual orders, we say. Four social orders are like, based on quality and work. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So, because to run the society, ultimately those are the given, job, those are the job responsibilities according to particular varna, right? So, right, Brahmanas, what they do, teaching. They're mostly in teaching profession, sharing the knowledge, reading scriptures, complete that sadhana. Whereas Kshatriyas, rulers, kings, administrators, politicians, now we see those are under the Kshatriya dharma, that's ruling administrators basically. And then Vaishyas, business and farming, those called Vaishyas. And Shudra, who supports all these three, laborers. That means who work for somebody. That's where Shudra means who work for somebody. So that's the thing. So all these four varnas are essential to run the society. That's where Krishna is created according to Guna Karma. Chatu Varna Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasa. I have divided through the Guna Karma. Quality and work. Quality means the nature of work. The nature of these teachers. We see teachers, administrators, businessmen, and laborers. So that's the thing to run the functional society. And this one, Brahmanas like head, Kshatriyas like arm, belly like Vaishyas, and then legs like Shudras. These are all the parts of the body are essential to function body, right? If legs are not there, the body cannot move. Hands, we cannot help ourselves. Head, we cannot able to think. Belly is required to, every part of the body is essential in order to function the body. Just similarly, all these varnas to help to run the society properly. That's where Prabhupada writes here. Deadless society. Unless we understand, do you think that in a dead society or mad society, there can be any peace? No. If the society is full of madmen, then where is the question of peace? Therefore, Krishna consciousness is the most important study in present-day society. The men who are leading the society, the president and the secretary of the defense should have the intelligence to understand the science of the soul. That is very, very essential. It means spiritual knowledge must be trained, top positions, everywhere actually. That's where in the GV, that is still going on. There is some of the devotees, intelligent devotees, they wanted to appear this group 1 IAS, IPS exams, 16-round devotees, they are getting training to write these competitive exams. And when they get selected and when they got the jobs, Krishna is devotees. You can think of, how that particular person is going to lead us. That must essential actually. So Prabhupada many times writes, these leaders are puffed up leaders, no knowledge about the soul, no knowledge about the ultimate goal. That's the thing. That's where completely working in the material platform, material modes, material platform, thinking about themselves and completely selfish motives. See, all the politicians we see, corrupters, selfish motives, sense gratifiers. Okay, so I will continue some more paragraphs. So again, Samyukta Mataji, can you please read?
Yes, Prabhuji.
అందరికి మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి అందరం మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి 1 2 paragraphs చదువుదాము. 2 paragraphs చదవండి మాతాజీ.
Okay, Prabhuji. The other day, when coming to your country, I met a secretary of the Japanese government in Tokyo. I wanted to explain to him that he should cooperate with this movement, but he said, "Oh, we cannot cooperate with any religious movement. He is one of the chief secretaries of the government, and he is such a fool. He is taking this movement as a religious movement, just as we have so many sentimental religions. But this is not sentimental. This is the necessity of society. A class of men should be Krishna conscious. Otherwise, the society is doomed. It is going to hell. And when such rascals are at the head of the government, how can there be peace? How can you expect peace in a dog society? The dogs are by nature howling woof, woof, woof as soon as they see other dogs. So, do you mean to say there will be peace if you turn human society into dog society, into cat society, into tiger society? The tiger is very powerful. He can kill many other animals. But does that mean he is a very important animal? No. He has no use in society. And now we are very powerful and we have good weapons to fight with. And we can kill many people. But these are no qualifications for good men or a good society.
You can read this on screen.
Okay, Prabhuji. We are not meant to manufacture a society of monkeys or tigers or asses or rascals who work very hard. Do you mean to say society of asses will derive any benefit from life? No.
Big no. Thank you, Mother.
Hare
Prabhupada writing in his feelings, how he's writing. Because, knowledge is essential in these topmost positions. They have to lead us, no? That's the problem. Why are we getting another? So there is why we are not getting peace in this material world. The leaders also like that, completely self-motivated. That's the thing. So in the previous yugas, Ramarajyam, and even Yudhishthira time also, people were living peacefully. We have read Bhagavatam. So that's the thing. So leaders has to be trained properly because they are rulers. Yeah, otherwise, tiger society, dog society, cat society, Yes. Prabhupada writes so nicely. The dogs are by nature howling woof, woof, woof. The society is doomed. What is the necessity of society? This is the necessity of society. A class of men should be Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, the society is doomed. It is going to hell. And when such rascals are at the head of the government, how can there be a peace? How can you expect peace in dog society? ఒక రకమైనటువంటి బాధ శ్రీల ప్రభుపాద కోప్పడడం అనమాట is devotees feelings. And seriously, necessity of the good, nice Krishna conscious and nicely devout God conscious persons needs to be situated in the topmost positions. Right? They manufacture. We are not meant to manufacture a society of monkeys or tigers or asses or rascals who work very hard. Do you mean a society? Do you mean to a society? You mean to say a society of asses will derive any benefit from life? Think about how the rulers, of course, our prime minister, at least he has endowed with some spiritual values, and he has some yoga, he has some previous background of RSS, something, at least some spiritual mindset is there. At least we see two examples. There is a yogi in Aditya Yogina, somebody, Uttar Pradesh prime minister, and then Narendra Modi. At least some, of course, some of the leaders, only we can count those many leaders. That's it. But most of the times, all are corruptors and completely self-motivated guys. So let us another two paragraphs. Let us read all of us. Swapna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Radhika Mataji. Mataji, ఒక్క నిమిషం మీరు నెక్స్ట్ చదువుతులేండి. Radhika Mataji, you can read these 2 paragraphs. Read Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
For those who have developed an attraction to Krishna, attachment can be developed. Before my coming to the West, there was no movement like this. Not born in your country. You do not accept Krishna as your religious God. But Krishna is so attractive that although you are a foreigner, you are not foreign. To Krishna, you are not a foreigner. He claims everybody. We make him foreign, but this is our foolishness. In the Gita, Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, there are many different forms and different species of life undoubtedly, but I am their father. Just see how Krishna is universal. He's claiming not only human society, but animal society, bird society, beast society, everyone. He says, I am the father. So how can Krishna be foreign? It is a mental concoction. They say Krishna is Indian or Krishna is worshipped by the Hindus, and therefore he is one of the Hindu gods. And they think that Krishna is saying, yes, I am the Hindu god, yes, I am Indian, but he is like the sun. Why American sun or Indian? Nothing is American or Indian. That is all artificial.
You can continue this paragraph, since you all.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This planet belongs to the humans. That's all. This is your communism. This present communism is defective because the Russians say that Russia is for the Russians or China is for the Chinese. Why not for others? Just think in terms of human communism. Why human communism? Living being communism. If you take this world as belonging to human society, that is defective. It belongs to everyone. It belongs to the tree, um,
Community.
community, it belongs to the beast community. They also have a right to live. Why should you cut the trees? Why should you send the bulls to the slaughterhouse? This is injustice. How can you gain justice by yourself doing injustice? We have no Krishna consciousness. We do not know that Krishna is our original father and that we are all his sons. The tree is my brother, the ant is my brother, the bull is my brother, the American is my brother, the Indian is my brother, the Chinese is my brother. Therefore, we have to develop Krishna consciousness. We talk all this nonsense of universal brotherhood and United Nations, all nonsense. Either you acknowledge the Father or else you have no idea of how to realize brotherhood or humanity. Therefore, they are talking for years and years. They are the same fools. Can't you see the UN? They have headquarters in New York. They are simply talking nonsense. That's all. That is their business. So, unless there is full Krishna consciousness, there cannot be any improvement of the world condition.
Haribol. Thank you, Madhuri. Thank you for reading. That's the thing. So, Prabhupada pretty straightforward is saying, unless what is saying, unless there is full Krishna consciousness, there cannot be any improvement of the world condition. Right? In different parts of this world, there are still war is going on. Ukraine, some other Arab countries, right? So one of the big budget in every country is defense, defense department. They have to defend themselves because because no peace between the countries. So what happens to because of the various business deals, because of the various agreements, always in that. So no peace. How can they get the peace? So unless full Krishna conscious, there cannot be any improvement in the world condition. So that means all these leaders needs to be trained. Kali Yuga condition, so that's where, and Prabhupada writes, not only humans, it's this material world is for everybody, all other living entities also. Tree community, Prabhupada writes, tree community, beast community, ant community. So everybody. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Gavihastine, Sunikecha, Savakecha, Pandita Samadarshini. As a self-realized person sees this world is a Krishna's energy and give proper respect to everything. Proper respect to everything in this, whatever he experience and he see, interact. A ant, a tree, everything is giving proper respect. Samadrusti. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Gavihastine, Sunikecha, Swapakecha, Pandita Samadarshinaha. Samadarshinaha. Why? We are differentiating. Oh, that is tree, that is lower species, that is animal. That's why I have to kill and eat. That's the thing. Samadrushti means all are in this creation. Krishna only created everything, right? All these ants, lower species of life, these trees, these material elements, everything come from Krishna. So that Pandita Samadarshana stage, how will get pure devotees gets. This is a Krishna's creation. And we have to give proper respect. We have to utilize it properly for Krishna's service. That's their mood. That's their understanding. So let us continue. Pallavi Mataji, can you read another 2 paragraphs? Let us spend another 5 minutes. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can read, Mataji. Krishna says that you have to.
Is that you have to develop your attachment for him. Begin at the beginning, but you can do it. It is not artificial. I have a few sincere students here, just developing. They are not complete, but they are developing Krishna attachment. Otherwise, why should they waste their time chanting Hare Krishna? They're doing it and it can be done. You can develop love for anything if you try for it. But Krishna development is very natural because Krishna is not a thing belonging to a particular type of religion or sect. Krishna claims, I belong to everyone. Therefore, originally, we are all connected with Krishna, but we have simply forgotten this process of chanting is to evoke your remembrance of Krishna. It is not that we are inducting something artificially into you. No, Krishna is already connected with you, but you have forgotten. And we are trying to give you the process for reviving your original consciousness. So you can come to our temple. That is the beginning. You can see Krishna or Krishna's devotees and you can chant Hare Krishna. Krishna is not different from his name because he is absolute. He is non-different from his words. The name Krishna and the person Krishna are not different because everything is Krishna. Oneness, the philosophy of monism or pantheism is imperfect. When that oneness comes in understanding Krishna, that is perfection. If Krishna is the supreme absolute truth from whom everything is emanating, then everything is Krishna. Just as you have gold mine and are preparing so many golden utensils and ornaments and many other things, but they are all gold because the original is gold. So you may name it earring, but you have to add golden earring. You may name it necklace, but it is gold because originally it came from the gold mine. Similarly, originally everything is coming from Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Yes, thank you. So this is the thing. So Krishna is absolute, is not different from his words. Krishna is absolute means how can we understand absolute? No difference between his name and his form. Abhinnatvam namanamina. He is absolute. The name Krishna and the person Krishna are not different because everything is Krishna. You would understand. The process of chanting is, what is the why we are doing chanting? It's not wasting time, right? We are utilizing nicely when we chant Hare Krishna mantra. This process of chanting is to evoke your remembrance of Krishna. That what is that remembrance? I come from Krishna. That Krishna is waiting for me to render a devotional service, understand him. It is not that we are inducting something artificial into you. No, Krishna is already connected with you. But the problem is forgetfulness. Forgetfulness is the problem. Right? So we are always there. That's where we have to again regain our original consciousness, remembering Krishna always. That is where different things, in the process of our devotional life, association, books, chanting, deity worship, diet, nice prasadam, and engagement, serving in all these activities. Then we will be we will get that remembrance that, I am come from Krishna, that is Krishna is my original father, like that. So let us continue. Swapna Mataji and Sapan Prabhu is there another. So please read two paragraphs and then we can wrap up. Hare Krishna, Swapna Mataji. Yeah, that's fine. Sapan Prabhu.
Yeah,
Hare
Prabhu, Hare
Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu, I'm there.
Yes, read it. Yeah.
Yeah. If he is supreme, the absolute truth, then nothing is different from him. Just as whether you say carrying on necklace or bangle or wristwatch, these are all made of gold. And so they are gold. But at the same time, you cannot say that this is all gold. You must say this is a gold necklace, this is a gold earring. The Mayavadin or impersonalist will say that everything is Brahman, but everything is Brahman is not right. This is very nicely explained in Gita. In the 13th chapter, I am expanded all over. That is my impersonal feature. Krishna is everywhere in his impersonal feature, but still he is a person. The Mayavada philosopher thinks that if Krishna has become everything, then where is the possibility of Krishna here apart? This is complete rascaldom because it is thinking in a material way. There is no spiritual knowledge. In the material way, suppose you take a piece of paper and tear it into particles and throw it all over. The original paper has no existence. this is material. But we get information from the Vedas about the absolute truth is so perfect that if you take away the whole, still the whole remains. 1 minus 1 equals 1. The material way of thinking is 1 minus 1 equals 0. But spirituality, it is not like that. Spirituality, 1 minus 1 equals 1. And 1 plus 1 equals 1 also. Krishna is everything. The Mayavadins, the impersonalists see our deities here and say, oh, they are installed
I'll call you back
some
again.
wooden forms and they are worshipping them as God. But one who knows Krishna's signs understand that Krishna is everything and therefore can appear in everything. With electricity, the current, Hare Krishna Prabhu, can you please
Yes,
call
ma'am.
it out?
Yes.
With electricity, the current is everywhere along the line. So wherever you touch, you will feel it. Similarly, the Krishna current is his impersonal form, is everywhere, and it is the technician who knows how to use the force. Before we have a phone installed, we have a telephone conversation and we simply inform the person before we even talk money that he should come immediately to find out where the connection can be made, and he comes out and does his work and we do not notice because he knows the technique. So one must know how to connect with Krishna. Krishna is everywhere. This is Krishna consciousness. But one must know how we can derive Krishna from the features of Krishna's form in wood or iron or metal.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. Quickly, few things actually I forgot to say. So this point we'll see Krishna. Prabhupada has given an example of gold mine. From the gold mine, we see different ornaments. Right? But we cannot say this gold ring is everything. No, that's not correct understanding. Similarly, Brahman realization, Mayavadi philosophy, what they're thinking. Brahman, this is Brahman. But everything is Brahman is not right. Brahman is an impersonal realization. It's a partial understanding. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan is Shabde. Just like, gold ring come from gold, mine. Similarly, impersonal is a concept of understanding the impersonal relation of Krishna, that, Brahma Jyoti platform. So that is not everything. Brahman is not everything. Mayavadi philosophy, Brahman is everything. Everything is Brahman. How can we everything is Brahman? So just like gold mine, various ornaments we can be able to make it. But the necklace is everything, not everything, right? The source is there. That's where the spiritual understanding is. We have to know that after Brahman realization, there is a Paramatma realization. After Paramatma realization, there is a Bhagavan realization. And Bhagavan realization inclusive of these two. Is a impersonal realization, he is impersonalist, and he is a person also as a super soul, and is a ultimately supreme person also. So that's an understanding I wanted to add it. And Prabhupada nicely, so he is always, and his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj also, Mayavadis, they are in incomplete understanding, and they said that is for everything. Misleading people. Mayavadi, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschatya Deshatharana, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Mayavadi philosophy. God is light, God is power. That's it. Their understanding, that's it. God is power. That's it. They conclude. They cannot understand the personal form of Krishna. They are submitted and committed to that particular understanding. That is incomplete understanding. That's where it is. Okay. So now let us continue. Sapan Prabhu, another 2 minutes, then we will wrap up. Please read from this.
Hare Krishna. You have to learn how to contact Krishna everywhere in everything. That is explained in the system of yoga. Krishna consciousness is also yoga, the perfect yoga, the highest of all yogic systems. A yogin may come and we can challenge him, saying that this is the topmost yoga system, though at the same time it is very simple. You don't have to exercise your body over a period of weeks before you feel some power. But with Krishna consciousness, you won't feel tired. All of our students are simply anxious to be overloaded with work in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada, what can I do? And they're actually doing it. In the material world, if you work for some time, you'll feel weak. Of course, I'm not exercising myself. I'm an old man of 72 years. I was ill. I went back to India, but I want to work. Actually, I could retire from all these activities, but as far as I can, I want to work. I want to learn day and night. At night, I will work with dictaphone, and I am sorry if I cannot work. This is Krishna consciousness. One must be very anxious to work. It is not an idle society. No, we have sufficient engagements, editing papers, selling papers. Continue, Prabhuji, stop.
E page or continue, Prabhuji. Okay. Yeah.
Simply find out how Krishna conscious you can be.
Yeah.
If you want to be really at peace, if you want to be happy, then develop Krishna consciousness. And the beginning is to develop attachment for Krishna. The process which we have prescribed is chanting and dancing before the deities and offering prasadam, spiritual food. This will make you more Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna.
This also read. This also read, Prabhuji. The yoga system.
Hare Krishna. The yoga system as it is described in the Bhagavad Gita
is different.
Is different from the bogus yoga system which is going on in the West these days. The yoga systems have been introduced into the West by so-called yogis are not bona fide. Yoga is difficult. The first thing is to control the senses. That is position of the yogi. He is not allowed to indulge in sex life. If you indulge in intoxication, if you indulge in meat eating, and if you indulge in gambling and sporting, all nonsense. You cannot at the same time become a yogi. I was astonished when a yogi came here, having advertised in India that you can be a yogi even though you may be addicted to drinking. This is not yoga system. This is not standard. You can call it yoga, but it is not the standard yoga system. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So much. So we'll talk about actually this Friday. Okay. Thank you so much, and spending little extra time, 90 minutes more as per the call. Actually, we have to stop by 8:85. Thank you very much. It's okay if sometimes we spend. That is good for us only. The more we read, the more better understanding, and the more the time is spent, the better our consciousness is going to be. So that thank you so much again. So let us connect on Friday. Continue with this book, Krishna Consciousness, this topmost yoga system. Prabhupada so nicely explaining all these concepts in chapter wise. Okay. Thank you so much for your presence again. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuva evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada translated book reading ki jai. Jai Gaura Hari Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji. Radhika Mataji, Kalai. Samyukta Mataji, Swapna Mataji, Sapna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Good night with Krishna's thoughts. Good night with Krishna.
Yeah.
Krishna's thoughts.